In a culture built on rhythm, rebellion, and raw truth, one voice is stepping forward to uncover the stories that were never told. This is Hip Hop Untold Stories, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on the legends, the icons, and the moments that shaped the movement. Hosted by OG Wildman Teddy T, a true student of the game and a voice rooted in the streets, this series dives deep into the hidden chapters of hip-hop history. No fluff, no filters, just real stories from the pioneers who lived it. From the studio to the cypher, from the block to the big stage. These are the tales that never made the headlines, but built the foundation of a global culture. So grab your popcorn, turn it up, because what you're about to hear is raw, rare, and absolutely real. This is Chapter 1, the beginning of hip-hop's untold stories.
Oh, it's popping off, man. Look, man, I kicked off this show because it's National Hip Hop Day, and we're about to, it's called Blasphemy for Hip Hop Day, I guess, to a certain degree, because we're going to bring some facts and talk about some things that people don't know about, and that's why we doing Hip Hop Untold Stories, because there's 8 million stories out here, but there's stories that people don't know about. So on National Hip Hop Day, I'm bringing to y'all none other than music pioneer himself, Grammy Award winning Disco Rick. Can somebody tell me where Disco Rick at?
I think he ain't in the booth.
We got Disco Rick in the building. Me and Rick, all we do is talk about music, past, present, and future. So this show here is very important to me because we just sit back and talk this information, but y'all not getting it. Y'all not hearing it. So
Not hearing it.
I brought it right here live to you today. Rick, I'm starting in 1979. I want to start in 79 and go forward. Now, if you want to start before 79, but I want to start with 79 with you and hip hop at the same time, like the hip hop culture and you, what you was doing.
And when you say 79, I think that's when like Sugar Hill Gang and everybody was around. What Sugar Hill Gang? 1976, 77, right now.
Rappers Delight.
Rappers Delight.
79.
Yeah.
Curtis
So
78.
right. So I would say 1971, but I can't say no. I can't. Let's say 73.
Okay.
In the hip hop world, which is, if you listening to me right now, which I know you are, because you hear it, you would need to go online and Google. The first thing I want to say before we start this, you need to see where hip hop started revolving from, and you need to look up 4 white guys from Europe.
Okay.
And the group is called Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk shaped hip hop. 4 white boys out of Europe, and they was the first guys that ever did techno. They invented techno music, and from then techno, and which we call bass music, it wasn't called bass music with them. We just called it what it was. But they came out with stuff like Numbers, Tour de France.
From the Breaking movie.
Yes. And from the Breaking movie. See what I'm saying? These guys came out in 1971, 72.
Right.
So they was before anybody started claiming all this hip hop. But they also came out with one big hit that went all over Miami first. And it was called Trans Europe Express.
Yes.
So if you look that up, the group is called Kraftwerk, 4 white guys from Europe. And they the one who shaped hip hop to what it is today. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, you can start from learning from there. But now we're gonna go to the other untold stories, Teddy.
Keep them going.
You was there.
See, like for me, coming up with Nick Salerno and these people, Nick Salerno bought Planet Rock and down here, and Jerry Rushing played it on the radio, and it broke in Miami first. Planet Rock. So,
but that sound came from Kraftwerk.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that now we're adding that on, and then after that, you go into Pretty Tony. But as far as like, I want to know, because your story, coming up and how you was equating, because you was a part of the culture and emulating coming into the culture. So we want to know the story of Disco Rick along with this hip hop culture, because it's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be able to bring to light.
Right. So, me starting as a DJ in 1981.
Okay.
Where I was skating in the skating rink called Superstar Roller Tech, which was the big DJ group that was there, was Party Down DJ. It was Love Maker, Slick Mick, and of course yours truly, Pretty Tony. I was a skater. Had a little lights on my skate, little lights lighting up one day, and Pretty Tony, and you know, Pretty Tony put me in the group from the skating ring, and he called me Dynamite Rick.
Dynamite Rick.
And then looking at the skates, he was like, Disco Rick. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me the name Disco Rick Pretty Tony. Later on that one, less than a year, maybe a year, Tony left the skating rink scene and went on to producing music. And 1982, 83, Pretty Tony was the one that brought us that sound, that Miami, that turned Miami around with Fix It in the Mix. Debbie Dad, When I Hear Music, you know, Trinier, you know what I'm saying? Which was now things like Kendrick Lamar is using right now.
Wobble Wobble up.
You know, when I hear music, all this is by Pretty Tony. You know what I'm saying? And if I was to give somebody their flowers, it would be him.
Pretty Tony.
He's alive.
Nobody's ever even brought that up about that when they talk about.
I was to give somebody their flowers for, you know, what they did for our culture as in hip hop, it would be Pretty Tony.
Pretty Tony.
You know what I'm saying? If I was
girls.
Right. If I was to give somebody their flowers in the disco days, it would be Casey and the Sunshine Band and every black artist that was with that band that came from Liberty City.
And they all came from Liberty City.
Yes.
Say it again.
Which all that whole family with TK Records with Betty Wright, you know, Herman Kelly, Let's Dance as Drummer B. They don't know that. Jimmy Bohorn, Let's Dance Across. They don't know all this. You know what I'm saying?
From Henry
From Rock the Ring My Bell. All that's Miami. Bobby Caldwell. Everybody out of this TK family, out of Miami, out of Liberty City. A lot of people don't know that. You know, but at that same label, as starting as Young, I was on that same label, but they had different labels in that, within that label, TK Records. You know what I'm saying? But I was in that family, which I was signed by Mr. Henry Stone, which owned TK Records. So I was with the old school, you know what I'm saying? But I was just a baby, you understand? A lot of people don't know that, you understand? But I'm just telling you, we grew on from there. And when I signed with Henry Stone and TK, I was Gucci Crew.
Gucci Crew.
Yeah.
So you came up with the name Gucci Crew.
No, I haven't. That came up Gucci. God himself.
Okay.
God bless, bless his soul right now. It's gone. Victor May, which is MCV.
Right.
And when MCV started, it was me and him. I was a DJ, he was a rapper, and our first song, just me and him, was Gucci Bass.
Gucci Bass, right.
So he kept saying, yo, I want, 240. So we brought 240 in. You understand? So now we call it Gucci Crew 2 and whatever not. You understand? So we formed the group after we did our first single.
And what year was this?
This is right before 1986.
Okay. So 1985, 86.
Yeah, because Two Live Crew was first, and then we were listening to that, and then when Luke did Throw the D, we were listening to that, and then we jumped in there.
But Ghetto Jump was before Throw the D.
Yeah, Ghetto Jump was actually for Throw the D, and it was on the same label that we was at, TK Family.
Yes.
You understand?
Right.
And that kind of pissed Luke off because that was stolen because Luke was about to do that.
Right.
When Luke did the record, Throw the D, Luke was riding on a motorcycle chopper. He had a bag on his back, like a backpack, but not the backpacks we got today. So it was a scrap backpack thing. He had it through across his shoulder. So he pulled up into 35th Street at EDR, Star Force, Soul Star 99,
right.
not Star Force 99. So, which is today it's called 99 Jams. But back in that little place over there, it was called that Star Force. No, it was called Soul Star 99, whatever, right there. So Luke pulled up and he was going in. I was coming out. And he said, yo, Rick, I got this record. And he pulled out the record. It had no label on it.
White label.
White label. It was test press. So he was walking the EDR with it. But he said, yo, I said, give me two. He said, nah, you're going to get this one. I got to use these. So I took the OG and I promoted the hell out of it because one thing I noticed, we ourselves as DJs, we wasn't putting out records. So this is good for us.
Right, right.
This is good for the culture of Miami.
Right.
We instead of us playing other people's record, we finally got our own record.
Right.
You understand? We got our own. So Luke did that, and you know, I saw him walk in the door. By him giving me that first record, first press, me having it first, I felt good. I know where I got it from. You understand? So I always cherish that. Even when Two Live Crew finished the album, I was like, Fresh Kid Ice's best friend down in Miami, because me and him, when he came down to Miami, Luke had him stay on the house on 35th Street, the apartment, bought all of them. Man, Fresh Kid Ice hung out.
Right.
And I was able to get that album before anybody ever heard it in the street on a cassette. So I could play in my car.
Right.
My nose was booming down the street going past Northwestern. Somebody say, hey, hey, you know.
Right.
I don't want to go too far up, but a lot of stories is because I was there.
Right.
A lot of people that's talking about stories now, they just heard about it.
Heard about it. I mean, but that's why you're here, and that's why we're doing Hip Hop on Stories with you, because to get the facts, we need to get people who were there and was engaging.
I was there. I used to ride around with Fresh Kid Ice. He bought a Camaro, and we went and bought it off 119th Street next to right next to Coco's, a little car lot. He bought it, right, a little Camaro. He bought that, and we were riding around with that little thing there. Later on, he bought himself a Hyundai when he got some money. You know,
right.
I remember all them days.
Right.
I mean, because we were there.
So
you
like,
understand?
When Gucci Crew came in, Sally That Girl, talk about that, because that was a big record.
When Sally That Girl was coming about, when we came Gucci Crew, Sally was actually a mistake. It wasn't actually supposed to be on the album.
Wow.
We were doing the album. Vic was doing mostly vocals, and 240 was doing the vocal. I was doing that. I was the DJ. You understand? So I was the DJ and the producer as well. You know, because I'm the head guy of the group. So, so 240 and Vic was playing around in the studio. And they came up playing around with this song, Sally That Girl. You know what I'm saying? It was wrote to be a song, but it wasn't wrote to be put out. When we put the woes there, the woes are off. It was off key. It was like, you know, we was kind of pissed off about it when we came home. We was touring LA so much. But Henry Stone yelled at me and yelled at us. He yelled at me, really, because I was kind of upset about it being there. And he's like, you don't understand. This is going to be a hit. I don't understand. Yeah, I said, yeah, whatever. And he was right. It was a hit.
Big record.
And from now on, why wouldn't I ever listen to this man who has 1 million hits? You know, from the Betty Rice, from the James Brown, from Casey the Sunshine Band, even with the Ray Charles situation. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that was Stone area. So the Stone era was a lot of hits out of that place. So with Gucci Crew, we became that rap group of Miami. And it was 2 rap groups. When I mention rap group, people say, oh, no, I rap before that. No, we were a group. There was 2 Live Crew and there was Gucci Crew. There was only 2 groups that had an album as a rapper.
And that was 86. 86.
Exactly.
So like during this time here, 86, like I was in Fort Lauderdale and with Foresight Records with MC80. I've been going to Foresight Records since 1983, coming down here visiting. And I remember Sexy Lady and the Chief hearing it on the radio from Foresight Records. You know what I'm saying? This is in '83. The Cornelius brothers, Frank Cornelius, and them was all there. And it was a great element of setup. And then as I came into Frank Wizard Coastin. he brought me to Hot to record. He's like, I help promote Ring My Bell and this and that. You know what I mean? So he was showing me all the labels. And then I remember my first time seeing you was in Infernos in 1987.
Yeah.
1987 Infernos. Let's get there.
I think even when in 1987, I think I was I was doing Gucci Crew at that time, and being at the Inferno if you went to the Inferno, you made it. You understand?
15 years old in the Inferno.
You made it. Don't tell everybody that.
I was a kid. All of us was kids. Even Reggie Mathis was going to Inferno back then.
Nat Moore don't want to hear that.
Nat Moore, Uncle Luke, everybody on the stage.
They're 15 getting in the Inferno, you know.
They're big, bro.
And Inferno was one of. See, a lot of places like that is legendary to us. Inferno was on Pembroke Pines, on Pembroke Road, over there, near the railroad track, east. And that was pretty much, they helped shape Miami with the culture as well. And that's when really we didn't have the separation from Dade and Broward. We had no separation.
It was 305.
It was 305.
Everything was 305.
Everything was 305. We didn't have a separation of 305 in Broward County because everybody that was in Miami was going to
Broward.
Inferno.
Infernos. Yep.
And everybody from Broward was at Inferno too. And we haven't seen no separation. Wasn't nobody yelling, "Oh, from Broward." They didn't put that in our head. Till they put the signs on the street, this is Broward, this is Dade.
Right.
So it was very different at that time when Inferno
I
happened.
remember Show That Pussy, Take It Off.
Whew.
From Infernos.
You know how that song started?
That's what I want to know.
Okay. I left Gucci Crew.
That's what I'm talking about.
So when I left Gucci Crew, they decided I'm the DJ, they're the rappers, so they could collect all the money. We don't need to do it. So the manager told me, I was at Club Manhattan, that last show, we all three. He said, "Rick, this is what they want, this is what," I honored that because I brought that in with him installing, and we still on the same label.
Right.
I honored that. We all know how this thing gonna end.
Right.
So I have no beef, but I went to Henry Stone and I told him, he said, he got mad about it. Y'all, they don't understand. You brought this in. I did. But I want to let it go. Because once I feel that pressure, not want it, as somebody who put the stuff together, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to have that on my shoulder because I got a lot of things going on. I'm still running the DJ club stuff and that. I'm still moving around. I'm young.
Right.
So after that, I started hanging out down south more with Big Jeff Days and Cookie and all of us. And I didn't think about rapping at all. Not at all. I was doing the DJ still. Didn't think about rapping. After touring with Gucci Crew, all us, California, all over, I didn't think about rapping after I left. I got a release, and I felt good. Okay? I ain't got to worry about the group. I'm good. Good luck to them. Never had no bad blood. Okay. Now, going to Splashdown, Luke was on stage and he was yelling, "Take it off."
Right.
Come on, take it off. Everybody going, take it off, right with him. And at the same time, I was ad-libbing from the crowd, back of the crowd going, "Show that pussy, take it off. Show that pussy, take it off." So I ran right to the studio with that hook only. And I said, "I got one." And I didn't go right directly to the studio. I went to Alan Johnson in Joy and said, "Yo, I want to get this group." He say, they was already happy because I came from the Gucci Crew. Yeah, what you gonna call it? I'm gonna call it the Dogs. Oh, Joey went, yeah, let's go.
But
Well, the Dogs.
one thing I can always say, you never put yourself first. Never.
No.
You
no.
said the Dogs.
Yeah.
You never. You put it together, but you had the Dogs
Yeah.
first.
And everybody just thought the Dogs is everybody, so it didn't matter.
Right.
So I performed the group. We had a whole group, and they didn't go in the studio. They didn't do no vocals. It was just me. So I had an idea of the first song, Listen to Luke. Right then went in the studio that night. And Alan brought Danny Diaz. Now the beat was okay,
Right.
but it wasn't working. Wasn't working. I said, it had a little funny. And Joey pressed it up, test press. Come on, right. I don't think I got it. You know what I'm saying? My first record, you know what I'm saying? I'm rapping now. Then he hooked me up with Kevin Mills.
Ooh.
So I go down to Kevin Mills down south in Prime. Kevin Mills in his house. He got his thing set up. Kevin Mills, he was in the shock of his life because the words that was coming out of my mouth. And he was just like a Christian producer. And today he's still a humble guy.
Right,
You know, I
right,
haven't
always.
talked to him in 20-something years, maybe since 1988, 89.
Calvin is the puppy.
And I finally talked to him 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
2 weeks ago, just had a big chat with him. And he's humble. He's a humble guy. He's still the same.
Man, but these are the guys we got to bring out because
And
the puppies and all the different
I had to
artists
search
he
his
put
phone
together.
number through the internet and found his son. And his son living in Tampa, the little puppies.
Yeah, the puppies.
And he's a grown man. He said, yo,
Camera deep.
I said, this Disco Rick. He said, looking for your father. But by the way, go on to Kevin Mills. Kevin Mills did, I told him how to show that, take it off. I needed a bass song. Not the way Danny D had it. She had it okay, but it wasn't strong enough. The hook was strong, but the record wasn't strong.
Right.
Danny D had the hook strong. Kevin Mills did it, came out with that beat,
Them cowbells.
and then I said, yo, I'm gonna put a little, I'm gonna bite a little bit. I'm gonna put a little tulaku. Let's have a contest and see who comes more.
yeah.
Boom, yeah, bitch. Disco weekend or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Hit that intro, and that's why my voice still been, because that intro
Right.
changed me. I didn't have no intro with Gucci Crew. You know what I'm saying? When I started saying, yeah, bitch, we got your ass now. It's like, yeah, you know, ladies and gentlemen, that voice came up.
Right.
So when I did that record right there, it became a strip club fucking anthem. Now, I'm gonna tell you what really happened. Joy, I don't want to talk about people, had me deliver the record to a woman, a stripper named Vanity in Magic City.
Wow.
I get up to Atlanta. I delivered the single 2 records in wax to her condo.
88, 89.
1988.
88, okay.
I slid the record under her door. Like she asked me to. And she answered the door. I slid it under. I ain't get to see her.
Right.
But she said she gonna do
Right.
what favor.
This was a 12-inch record.
12-inch
It's not a
record.
CD.
12-inch record.
12-inch, big old vinyl.
So when we did that, it took off in Atlanta first. Real big. Miami haven't gotten a taste of it. When Miami got a taste of Show That Pussy, Take It Off, you might gonna be shocked at the place where it took off at.
Where?
Club Kingston, 7th Avenue and 71st Street. Do you remember that building? Kingston. That was a place that the Kingpin, Ike, son,
Right.
headquarters, and his boys was running that club. The headquarters was a club promoter there.
Wow.
After that, it was gone away. You know what I'm saying? But it was headquarters that was running the club. And they were playing the record in that club. And I jumped off from there. And it was called King Street.
King Street, right? King Street.
That's what it was.
Right.
King Street. Right on 71st Street and Northwest 7th
Now, I
Avenue,
can see-
which is now Range Rover parts store now. In case somebody pass by there and see it.
Now I can say this time here, it's crazy when you say bringing Danny D up. So my first show, we went to Fort Myers, and it was in Cape Coral, and it was you, Danny D, DJ Laz, Get Fresh Girls. As soon as we get to the radio station, they freak out because you're there. They're like, we're calling the police. Disco Rick cannot come in this club. And so I've always seen Rick and knew, but I didn't understand why, because it's his smile. He's always smiling. Why can't he? You know the music that he does. He's a Luke. He's another one like the Too Loud. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess he does. When you
I wasn't really like Too Loud.
You wasn't, but your songs were just that aggressive though.
Yeah, it was aggressive. I was
aggressive.
more politics than Too Loud. I was like, I was on some Luke and them. They was having fun. It was characters. They were having fun.
Right.
I was serious. I was like, bitch, this sure, take it off. And I had a lot of politics shit in there. You know what I'm saying? I was, because Luke was able to meet that media that got him arrested, that showed him arrested. Shit, they didn't tell about the time I got fucked up and couldn't go in the place or got arrested or got put out.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Or got banned out the city.
Yes.
Literally,
he went through all this.
I went through a lot.
I was privileged to see that. And our record, we had put out our record, and our record was like number 3, number 4 on the actual charts. This was artists we had named Eminem. We were signed to Joy Boy Records as well. Well, we wasn't signed at the time though, but we was there. So now we did the show and everything, and it's dope. And everybody wants to be in Rick Room. You know what I'm saying? It's like Rick Room has got everything going on. The Get Fresh Girls. So it's like I go up there, and we're all there, and Rick just open the door. He's like, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but he good. He's good, and you good. And we went in, and I left. I felt bad, but I didn't. I left my man in there because I'm like, look, somebody got to be in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? If they picked me, you know what I'm saying? So we went in there, and it's like when we came back, our record was Power Wars Champion on Part 96, and by Thursday, Joy and Allen called us, and they signed us to Joy Boy, and we did a couple of shows together, and it's like me and Rick we talked same way we do now. And it was like when I found out his last name was Taylor and I was Taylor, and it was like we became family at that point, you know what I'm saying? But I went to now 88, 89, because you're explosive at this time. Show That Pussy, Take It Off, and then your mom was on Crack Rock, which was really like, I'm selling, like your words on that was so in your face.
In your face. Like, and right now today, they it's all over YouTube. I mean, everywhere, all over the internet and Instagram, and people going, yo, they really were listening to this? Yes. And it's right now, it's going viral again.
Because they're like, why is you listening? That's what you listen to?
That's what, it's going viral again. It's all over the place.
Now, during this time period, the dogs were so, see, Two Live Crew had girl dancers. Different people had girl dancers. So yeah, the guys would be excited, but you had guy dancers, and they were all football players. They all went to Michigan State. These guys was in shape. You know what I'm saying? And when they did a show, Rick, I figured it out later on in life.
JT Money said it. He said, Rick, you had the best shows.
Listen, Rick was Chuck D.
Exactly.
Rick was Chuck D back then, and the dancers was the S1Ws. The only thing he was missing was Flavor Flav, but even he was Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
He became Chuck D and Flavor Flav together with the way he orchestrated the lyrics, and then he'll give the group, dogs, break down. Boom.
And I'll walk off, they doing their thing.
Man, the whole crowd used to go crazy. So this time you got Special Ed, you got all these different rappers that y'all doing shows with. And it became a problem because nobody wanted to go on after you. Even Miami artists didn't want to go on. Can you talk
they
about
didn't.
that?
And Special Ed is my main buddy.
That's my friend.
And I talked to him, honored him. They honored him last month.
I seen that.
I clap because he keep in contact with me. He love the dogs. He's a fan of the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
They always all engulfed in the name. They call each other dogs and my nigga, and like they were so like if you go back to Redman made a skit on the album. You know,
Yeah.
and so what's up, dog? And it's all based off of this
and he was picking that, talking about Luke and us, and it was Luke didn't like it. You know, it is what it was. We were bass music. We were getting taunted about New York really bad,
Real bad.
But we didn't see New York as what they look at us as. We like all the stuff that's in this museum here. And Miami is a lot. It's 80% New York. I was a DJ. I played number of New York records. We didn't have no records, but we played New York records because I wasn't only a fan. I was a DJ, and the crowd was a fan of everybody that was playing, from Salt and Pepper to Run DMC to Curtis Blow, Chuck Rock. Everybody. We played everybody. You know what I'm saying? We played Roxanne, every 5 different versions, 5 different groups. We don't know which one was who. The real Roxanne or Roxanne Shante or all the more. We a TFO, we don't know.
Right.
We used to play Roxanne, it was like 12 of them.
Right.
But it was a hit because we didn't make records. Yeah, we looked at New York as the gods of rap. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know we can do this down here. We didn't really pay attention to what was going on down here. We didn't think about, hey, there's a place called Criteria, Hit Factory.
Criteria, yeah.
We got all the studios and record
audio,
all these artists are right here. We didn't know that it was in our backyard, but we could actually do what New York doing.
But do you think that because of the crack, the cocaine epidemic at this time, as it's going on, it was a lot of, the 80s was a lot of distractions.
We was distracted away from making music.
Right, it's a lot
You
of
understand? We was distracted. We think we couldn't make music because we had to have certain things, like we had to have money or something.
Right.
We didn't know we just $1,500 would give me a cut record. You know, $500 would give me chest presses, and we could be all the DJs can get $500.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. We didn't know the record get pressed. It cost you $50 a piece or 25 cents a piece to get pressed. We would have known that. We would have had records by that in the 70s too.
Yeah.
You know, but we didn't. It was supposed to be. We were supposed to serve what we heard.
Right.
So we served New York, get in Miami.
Really putting it on. Like Luke bought all the top artists back
All
then.
of, and he brought them into a stadium, Miami Stadium,
Miami baseball
on
stadium.
7th Avenue, right by the National Guard Army. Luke put on concerts in there and brought down New York artists from LL to Rock. He brought them down here himself.
Yeah.
Because we were fans, and also we played their music.
That's right.
So we had nothing against New York.
Right.
Nothing at all. It's just when New York came around, we started making music, and they call us
Bammers and
booty.
Yeah.
Booty music, because the girls would shake their booty, but then it was almost like saying that's shit music. You know what I'm saying? That's what they
No
would call
lyrics,
it.
it's not.
No, that's shit music. And then to where it goes back to this day, some of our new rappers are thinking the same thing now, instead of them doing that type of music.
Right.
Miami has a lot of treasure underneath it. It's like going into Texas or going into the Gulf and you drill down into the ground and oil come up. There's a lot of treasure underneath this in music. And from Betty Wright to KC to Jimmy Bourne to Dance John B. Herman Kelly, to a whole bunch of stuff.
Eugene
And
Wild.
It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Foxy Brown,
and it's
man.
right
That's
up
here.
under the dirt. And guess what? All they got to do, the new generation, go that and get it. When Trick Dollars came out, he came out with some records. Trick came out with some records. But when Scar came out, holy shit, Trick put gangster rap on a bass beat. Now that let niggas know right now, you can still be gangster and do a bass track.
Cause
And
like,
that's what Trick did. That's what him and Verb did with Luke records. And then you got Fresh Montana say, let me tap in this dirt. Pop that. pop that, boom. And here goes Drake, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, everybody on this track. But you hear all these little thug niggas who call themselves rappers, they playing the shit out of them.
You don't hear Luke.
Listen,
Background.
let me ask you something. Betty Wright said to me, you know, a lot of people don't know, since we, you know, me and her, we moved over to Vision Records, damn near together with Steve Alamo, who was part owner of the TK Records. So we moved up Vision Records. She moves upstairs in the building next to it, same connection of the building, and had a studio in her office called Miss B Records. And downstairs next door was Audio Vision, where she recorded No Pain, No Gain, everything out of Vision Records, everything. So I was at Vision Records. I moved Mo Prescale there. And when Mo Prescale introduced me to everybody, I was good. I knew where I was going. But Betty Wright said to me one day in the studio, you have to make a song that everybody do for the rest of their life. That would stay, that would go for the rest of your life. It would play. And what she was telling me, there's a cleanup woman everywhere, clean up somebody out fucking somebody's man. Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. When I told this little kid, when I learned that with Luke and all that, hey yo man, look at that girl. Oh, she's popping it. Boom, boom, Luke, go, boom, go. You play Luke's song, they're gonna fucking do what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And I told one young kid, it was at a skirt club, I don't wanna mention that name. He said, yo, I said, bro, that song hot, bro. That song hot, no, I got a better song than that. I said, bro, let me talk to you, bro. Pull him aside, I say, listen, don't ever disrespect the song or downplay the song that got you here,
right,
that brought you to this city from out of town. He listened. He said, no. I say, listen, bro, don't ever downplay a song that brought you here. You know what that song was? One time for the birthday, bitch. Two times for the birthday, bitch. One time for the birthday, bitch. And every time the birthday girl comes, what happens? Right. One time for the birthday, bitch.
That's right.
Trap Beckham. He tried to tell me the other song. That's cool.
You meant to
but that song now, it would never fucking stop.
Well, see, that's because that was Young Trap. And now Trap Beckham. See, those records come from Young Trap, the bass artist, who was in Jacksonville doing bass with Rhymer. And then he got a deal with Def Jam and went to Trap Beckham. So he never wanted to go back.
But off the record and on the record, he have a great management. Mm-hmm. You understand? He got TJ. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. TJ put a lot of people on. He had a lot of people rolling with him. TJ say, shit, why should I keep rolling with these motherfuckers who gonna fall off the track when I got a motherfucker who gonna stay on the track? Mm-hmm. And Trap Beckham has been staying on the track and he's relevant today.
Right now. He just came back from Germany.
It don't matter what you say. What you say about certain songs, when that motherfucker, other nigga record play, we ain't got that swag. They go to white people and the black people. We ain't got that swag. It's certain songs that gonna keep them going for the rest of their fucking life.
Can we say wiggle, wiggle, wiggle?
Yes.
Wiggle,
when I sung Wiggle, Wiggle, Trick told me, Trick Daddy say, Rick, called me and said, yo, I need you to do a show for me on my show at James L. Knight Center. I said, okay, but do not tell nobody I'm on the show. Since I'm gonna do it for you on me. On me. I'm gonna do his name for Trick Daddy. So he had all the people on the ticket. So of course, I get on the ticket, but nobody know I'm there. I got my shows ready. I ain't got my dogs, but I know how to cut my show. Yeah. Hey, Luke's there. Luke said, yo, Rick, what you got going on? And somebody said, yo, check his room. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got nothing going on. Meanwhile, I watch all the groups. They stand up there, they rap, and they just rapping. But there's no show.
That's That's right. That's right. Tell him.
There's no show.
No show, baby. No show, no dough.
So if I don't have my team of guys, I'm pick. I know a way to get around it. So this Nasty played this show. Start off my tape like really. So you can't cut in on it. So as soon as it played, comedian Larry Dog had no idea that I was coming on.
Mm-hmm.
He went back and grabbed the mic. Hold on, stop the music. You cannot stop at that when it's rolling.
Right.
No, I'm yelling from the curtains. And Nancy stopped. He goes, no, how you gonna go back to the queue? The crowd already running up. I gotta start over. Larry didn't understand. I understand that, but he was excited at the time. That was, that's Larry Dawg. That's our boy. So the show started. I had to pick up the pieces on the broken pieces. Now they kind of know I'm coming out. But I got other tricks. You understand? For these shows, because it's about shows, and that's what we did as Two Live Crew and the Dog. We had shows. Right. You understand? We had shows. You couldn't. I had to put together shows, and when I had a suitcase in the middle of the stage, I had brought out two dancers, and the crowd going wild, and the songs is right there. I sung Your Mama Crack Rock, boom. I just did the song, show Walla Walla, watch the crowd, sing every word, boom, boom, get up out of that song quickly. I had that much time on the Trick Daddy show. So let's go push the button, hit that wiggle, wiggle, bam. Everybody in the crowd was dancing. Grown-ass man, when that thing came on, because that's what it,
That's that timeless music.
Those are things a lot of people don't understand. Those are songs that keep people knowing what it was when it came out, and knowing what they were doing when it came out, and they never forgot that dance. You understand what I'm saying? They never forgot that dance because they all remember.
Feels good.
And so doing that time of doing the show, oh yeah, they up now. Now we want to see it all. Boom, the midget pops up out the suitcase, and here we go again. Now you see more camera flashes than anything.
Brought the spectacle.
Now after the Trick show, I become the viral guy.
Right.
I go viral with the show.
I mean, I saw the show you did in Detroit. And that show in Detroit, I put that on my big screen from YouTube, and I watched it. When they sang, could somebody tell me where Disco Rick was? When they sang that song, I was like, oh my, that was incredible. I was like, wow, so I want to go to this part, because now, once I got on the radio, you're producing at Audio Vision.
Yeah.
You're Audio Vision all the time. I always come there, you got the jacuzzi in the back. I'm having my fun.
How you know about the jacuzzi?
I used to be in the jacuzzi.
But that was set up by Lil Jon, because he had to say, I had Lil Jon there, right. So we figured we'd put a jacuzzi back there for Lil Jon section.
Yeah, that's when, Ecstasy came in the game. So that's when you did the Mo Thugs. Like, let's talk about Mo Thugs, the Grammy.
Mo Thugs, the Crazy Bone album. And what up? A lot of the Bone Thugs on the same album. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a great call. Yeah. You understand? And when Crazy Bone, my first recording with Crazy Bone was funny. So we sitting there, and I'm recording Crazy Bone first vocals. We ain't got no Pro Tools. We on 24 track tape.
Real.
Big boy, reel to reel.
Reel to reel.
Craig come in with some reels. He want to listen to it and put some vocals to it, whatever. We reel to reel. So we got another machine called a radar, but we gonna go with what he got, okay? So I'm recording, first thing, boom, he in the booth. And here are these people from Cleveland, about 3 of them, 4 of them sitting in there, boom, boom. And he rapping, he gets about a couple bars, and I go, hold on, please. All right, go ahead. He rap again. I go, hold on, please. I turn something else off. So he rapping again. Now about the 5th time I stopped that shit, I know a rapper getting frustrated because he's not used to, whatever. And I say, something's wrong. He said, what is wrong? He's talking from the vocal booth. I cut off all these lexicons, and I cut off this, I cut off that. But I just can't cut off this goddamn echo. He said, what echo? I said, keep going, bum, 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 bum. He said, that's me. The most embarrassed time of my fucking life. Because this nigga is echoing himself, and I'm looking all around the room.
Trying to figure out
where the fuck this coming from. I done lost 15 minutes of time fucking up this man's time because I don't know where this shit coming from. I'm cutting off every echo, every reverb, every lexicon, everything. Turning around, turning this shit off like, I'm gonna cut this shit off. Power down. We going flat. We gonna have this bitch flat. This motherfucker still. What the fuck going on here? Till he told me. And everybody in his camp was laughing at me. I was a laughing stock of they. But guess what? I became the best fucking engineer they ever had because I knew their words. And motherfucker asked me, how you doing on the punch in? Sure. I know every fucking word they saying. They be speaking the devil shit. That's what everybody thought. They speaking devil shit. Nah. I learned them motherfuckers. I'd be like, ooh. I know when to punch in without a problem. Crazy Bone was under that. You understand what I'm saying? So we had a lot of recording from Mo Thugs. I stood in the studio 24 hours a day, bro, because I had to record Mo Thugs. We had to rent 3 studios, just to keep shit going.
Yeah. I used to come like in the middle, like 3, 4 in the night. Because that's how you made the Mo Thugs. When they left and went somewhere, and then you that's when you made the bass bird.
Yeah, but he went out of town, and I said. I did one song for the Mo Thug girl named Felicia, and it was called All Good. It was a nice slow song, beautiful slow song. And me and Ish Ledesma, which Ish is the one who sang Get Off, Foxy. White boy, Foxy, get off, get off, get off, ooh, 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 ooh. That's Ish. So Ish, I said, Ish, we gotta play it. Ish did all the instruments live, like played live, and one drop track by track. He said, you sure it's going? Yeah, come on, man, just double the beat. You did it. And then I had to pick Crazy Bone up from the tour, picked him up from Miami Airport. And he said, yo, y'all mix the song? I said, yeah, we finished the song. Let me hear. I say, I changed the song. And he looked at me, what do you mean you changed it? I said, oh shit, I don't think I should play this shit. He said, what do you mean you changed it? I just, because the way he said it back to me,
right.
With Crazy Bone was like, he said, what do you mean change? I was like, oh shit. So I said, fuck it. He want to hear it. I put that motherfucker play on that motherfucking car. It was this car, it was a Lexus. So I pushed the motherfucking button on that motherfucker, that shit came on. And then that shit came on, he said, hell yeah, hell yeah. You know, hell yeah, hell yeah, that's shit. Hell yeah, this gonna be the single, hell yeah. And it was.
It was a banger.
It was a gold record, it was gold single, it was platinum there, and a platinum album and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, he's gangster. He's on a bass track. I just thought I can do it on a bass track. He'll like it. He's in Miami. Let me go ahead and give you one. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You're here.
You're here in Miami.
Take something back home.
Let me switch this shit up. And that's what Relativity was like, yo, that's the shit. Steve LaBelle was like, yo, let's go.
That's the one. That's the one.
All this shit got. And then doing that, all that time, all the Mo Thugs, I think, because doing Mo Thugs and doing Bone Thugs and all the guys from Wish and everybody recording all these guys in the studio, And it was fun. And then
That's after Easy passed away, right?
Yeah, that's way easy passed away. We were doing Splashdown.
Right.
We were doing
94,
Splashdown.
94,
Yeah,
95.
that was way back in
Right.
because they came down for Splashdown for
remember
that,
that.
and
I
then they
remember
left real
Right.
fast. They didn't even do Splashdown.
Right.
They left that.
R. Kelly
Yeah.
was there with them that time.
So doing all the Bone Thugs and doing that, Mo Thugs with that and recording these guys, and then after Crazy Bone them was gone for a while, I was able to record When Thugs Cry, Busy Bones solo album at Audio Vision. You know, because they was also a little separated, but at that time. But I was, you know, it's family.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say no to family or Bone Thugs. Or,
Right.
You know, can't get in whatever. You know what I'm saying? He ain't fuck with this company or that company, that person. But it was all love. They all always loved each other. It's just that
Business.
it was a business decision what they're doing. So I don't get in that shit.
Right.
But I was recording When Thugs Cry and everything, and I said, this motherfucking Busy is a motherfucker. His vocals are crazy as shit.
Yeah, he's
But I'm like,
one.
God damn.
Busy definitely one. So also,
And Crazy Bone just so fucking talented when it comes to chorus and everything. That motherfucker said, and most of the time I'm in the studio with Crazy Bone, I don't think I was tired. I was just fucking high.
that's all you're gonna be.
Because all they was doing is fucking that goddamn, all I smelled was fucking smoke.
That's it.
Them niggas was smoke. What? Nigga. I remember going to the house on the beach and I had damn near a pound. A big ass pound. I said, yo, I got it. All I saw was a bunch of goddamn stallion like horses running towards me like buffaloes. I dropped that shit. I dropped that shit and went to running. Them niggas there, boy. Them Mo Thugs, them the crazy. They ain't played by that, boy. Them niggas smoke like a motherfucker.
Now, I also want to bring out the fact with when Lil Jon did the So Def, he was A&R for
Yeah, I was working
So
with him.
Def, and then he brought it down for you to do the both.
Yeah, but I was on the Kings of Crunk album, the first album.
Right, okay.
I'm rapping on that, man. So
Okay.
I made it on John album.
Okay.
You know, before
Who
we
you
did
with?
the Kings of Crunk. Yeah,
Who you with?
Who the Wit album. So yeah, I was Disco Rick because I was kind of living in Atlanta a little bit. And then I said, John, I got 2 new beat machines. You know, the 60s, the 3000. John came and got one for me. Same beat machine. Years later, Rick, hell yeah, I want to come down to Miami and record. I want to kind of mix Atlanta up with Miami and like the little crunk sound, the yelling and everything else and why we did it and whatever. And that's how he said it. And I didn't know exactly, but I kind of see what he said. I'm going to mix Miami up with the slow. And I seen it. And when John came in, we put together the studio, put it all together. And that goes John. He comes with some disco lights and everything else. And now we got a whole disco room and it's a whole vibe. We've been in the club in the damn place. So as we do that, well, let me stop this right quick. I know y'all gonna edit anyway. So as we do that, stop please. Silent y'all. As we do that, we started putting together the Kings of Crunk album, and when we put together the Kings of Crunk album, the East Side Boys was sitting in the studio, and they was coming up with some hell of a hooks, chorus, like the We Don't Give a Fuck, and all them niggas, them 2 boys, Bo and Sam, them 2 there. It was unbelievable. They coming up with some shit like, I'm like, oh, they gonna yell that shit? And they yelled. And I was recording it, and they were doing them chorus. And it was like, yo, sometimes John will be in the studio, a lot of times John will not be in the studio. John let it be gone. We got South Beach, John gone. John gone. You know what I'm saying? John don't ship this old white Corvette down to Miami, old Corvette. Say, Rick, when I'm on, keep this up and make sure and riding this Corvette on the beach having fun by the time. But When John come in the studio, he say, I say, John, all right, this is the chorus, this is what they want you to yell, or they, you know what I'm saying, boom, boom. And boy, John jump on it, and that's it. And all we need is some rappers. And I'm thinking, at the beginning, the East Side boys are gonna rap. Oh no, it was just like the first King of Crunk, but a little bit twist. Here come the big artists on this motherfucker. The artist is already developed big, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I said to him, he said to me about Crazy, I said, I can get Crazy Bone. You know what I'm saying? Because we got Mystical off the beach hanging out. He was hanging out, John. We brought him in the studio, he did that. Mm-hmm. So called Crazy Bone, Crazy, yo, John wants you on the song. And Mystical just dropped this verse, and yo, I want you on John. He say, okay, I'll be there. He's at the house. He came there, met Lil John, boom, 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 did the vocals, and right after that, John was like, whoa, we out. This is a single.
That's it.
And that was it. And it was exactly how I planned. Mm-hmm. And to roll on to this, we pressed up the record. John and TVT pressed up the record. Mm-hmm. And we had like 4 box delivered, 4 box delivered. But how we gonna get this song out?
Right.
Now I called Lex Promotion. Lex said, I don't do records.
That's it.
Called Teach. Teach said he don't either. He passing out the promotion flyers. Right. I said, Teach, I kind of like, yo, Teach, come on, man, for real, come on. Yo, I want to introduce you to John, Lil John. Mm-hmm. Big Teacher like, you know, he came and met Lil John. Mm-hmm. Met Lil John, met the A&R, boom, boom, got them boxes, boom, did what he did. And boom, mm-hmm. And they go Teach. You know, Teach from do his 1, 2, he finna pick. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All that circle and look at Teach now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Teach, we all Teach is right where he's supposed to be. It was all a planning.
Yeah, we all did pit together because we were working at Luke's together, and then I was on the radio, so I was playing all the records on the radio.
Yeah,
and that was the whole combo. Me, him, and Julian, and then that's when because Kulo came from Mr. Vegas Pull Up. All the Cuban people thought it was cool. I broke that, and then
right. And you got to broke records for whatever, mm-hmm. in a certain extent. But it was just when I saw what Teach did and got with Lil John, and Lil John grabbed Pitt. You know what I'm saying? And they went to what? T went.
Yeah, J Records.
Yeah,
J Records with that Kulo record that we made.
Because Lil John took him mm-hmm. to the people. Yeah. I said, wow, look how this circle works. Mm-hmm. I was right there.
That's it.
I ain't give me no credit.
You just tapped into the realest hip-hop Untold Stories, Chapter 2. Disco Rick is back, hosted by the legendary OG Wildman Teddy T. The stories get deeper, the legends get louder, and the truth, it's raw. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to Foo Films on YouTube. Smash that bell so you never miss a drop. This ain't just history, it's our story. Stay tuned.